Hey neighbor, welcome back to ARTV. My name is John, and today I'm counting down my top 10 favorite songs by the English alternative rock band Wolf Alice. Whether it's alt-rock, indie, shoegaze, 90s rock that they're tackling, quality never seems to be an issue for them, despite their evolutions as a unit, as a band, as they grow and mature and reflect and all of these amazing elements. The quality remains consistent, and I truly believe that they don't have a bad song to their name, and what's even better than that is that there's only a few that I would even consider mid-tier. I've made it no secret that Wolf Alice are already one of my favorite bands of all time, and despite only having discovered them 6 years ago just before the release of their debut album My Love Is Cool, their music has really spoken to me, and I find myself connecting even more the older I get. And with that being said, despite the fact that this is a top 10, I wanted to show you what was just outside of that, because if I don't do that, then I'm gonna feel like a parent that's just not paying attention to my kids at the pool. Outside of the top 10, at number 15, I had Bros. At number 14, Feeling Myself. Number 13, Moaning Lisa Smile. Number 12, Freezy. And number 11, Storms. Even more honorable mentions can be found in the description down below, so give that a peek, and while you're down there, maybe drop a comment with your own top 10, any thoughts that you end up having on mine. Keep in mind, it's just my opinion. I hope you enjoy the countdown. Please smash that like button, and let's get started at number 10.
I'll take you back. Yeah, I know it seems surprising when there's lipstick still on the glass.
The influence of bands like Echo and the Bunnymen and The Cure seem to be very apparent on Lipstick on the Glass, but it's also not unoriginal in any way. It's able to lift those things and tie it into the story of Wolf Alice. There's these really gentle but also pushy driving acoustic guitars that back the entire moonlit track. It sounds like something you would listen to between the hours of midnight and 7 a.m. as you sit back and reflect. And on this track in particular, their frontwoman Ellie Roselle opens up about a cheating partner and somebody that she's actually willing to take back because she ends up blaming herself. It's such a sharp, honest, moody listen, and I love those high notes Ellie's able to hit. This is one of those tracks that I can point to and say, look how far she's come as a vocalist. Sad Boy almost didn't make my top 10. I was wrestling between this and Storms and Freezy and, to be honest, probably a few other songs too because it's Wolf Alice and they're amazing, but this one won out and won the slot of number 9 in the end because of the way it pays off in its finale. Questioning someone's actions seems to be the backbone for this track. Who hurt you? Why do you act this way? And as we all know, Wolf Alice are absolute gods at building up a song and then winding it into something else in that final act. The breakdown is sensational. This is a huge tune, and I love the fact that the layered vocals are an extra ace in the hole. It's a song that touches the hand of God and then slowly floats back down to earth.
Just looking for a protector. God never reached out. There's a love that is a savior, but that ain't no love of mine.
Silk is a dark flash of brilliant restraint from a young band that were already refusing to be pigeonholed. It opens with these wavering synths and a very mysterious aura. It has these vocals from Ellie that feel very mysterious and ethereal, and it slowly cuts in the drums eventually, and from that point forward, as they're singing about these metaphors for drugs or possibly a toxic relationship, it's like you're hooked to the point where you're under a spell and you have to sing back every single word.
Hate to see it this bad, bro. Don't you do it. I hate to see it screw up. But it doesn't care how deep grieving it's hard to give up. Hard to give up.
Baby's first Wolf Alice song is right here before our eyes right now. It's Giant Peach, and I stumbled across it because of an NPR blog post. They were writing up this song. It was before the album came out, of course, and if I hadn't stumbled onto that, who knows when I would have found Wolf Alice. I've heard it's their favorite song to perform live, and with that intro, you can probably tell why. It's a minute and a half of winding you into their web. It's like you're stuck there with nowhere to go, but there's also nowhere else you'd rather be for the entire 4 minutes and 35 seconds of the song. Giant Peach flexes so many of the strengths that make Wolf Alice incredible, with the shouty vocals, the loud dynamic, and the powerful as hell storm that they conjure up. It relies heavily on shredding guitars and some manic drums throughout. It's an aggressive tune, but I love the fact that it dominates through and through. This song is a rock behemoth influenced heavily by the 90s, but it also sounds extremely Wolf Alice and unique to them. I heard this played live a couple of months before the album even dropped. It was one of the first times that they performed this track, Visions of a Life, and I was blown away. As you start to see this epic long song unfold, they start to speed up everything, including that lead riff. They pick up the tempo as it cycles through the life of a vagabond, a traveler seeing everything flash right before their eyes. When it finally peaks, it's a head-banging showstopper. It's like hitting a runner's high and then getting that cool down where you slowly exit the song and the album Visions of a Life, and they don't leave you on too big of an adrenaline surge, but the adrenaline is still there pumping through your veins.
Ready for your truth? Well, I hedge my bets all well, 'cause it's lies after lies after lies. Do you weep them for yourself?
A piano ballad as a lead single? That's bold as fuck, but who would have expected anything less from Wolf Alice, who have notoriously at this point put out kind of misleading lead singles that don't fully represent the sound of the album? I like that, because it's not like clickbaiting, it's almost like, hey, here's the mystery, gotta click through to find out the rest. We as humans are always searching for meaning in everything, and sometimes when there's not one, we continue searching anyways because we so desperately want to affix some sort of meaning or explanation. The organic switch up that comes in the late stages of this song doesn't feel like an injustice to the original part where the spotlight was mainly on Ellie. It's like a compliment that's being served on top of that. It's a track where they can build it up slowly, and then they just have this very lush 70s influenced sound with strings on top of it. It's a bombastic tune that goes for gold and actually nails it all the way through.
Don't chicken out, it's so good. You're allowed to be what you're good.
I've always clutched on to Blush as a very special song, and early on in this track's life, I really do feel that it helped me cope with depression, with anxiety, with isolation, and even now, reflecting back, I think it's very powerful that they're able to use such a strong sense of melancholy, yet it's almost like glass unshattering as you watch the narrator piece themselves back together and try to reassure everyone around them that they're going to be okay.
Feel like I'm falling, dreams slowly stalling. Extravagance disguises elegance is boring.
Okay, say you hate LA without directly saying you hate LA. Wolf Alice only continue to boggle my mind as they evolve as a unit. I think this is one of their most striking, poignant statements to date, and also the sheer creativity behind a track like Delicious Things I think makes it stand out as the best cut from Blue Weekend. This is simply an outstanding work of art. The verses keep you enthralled with Ellie's storytelling ability as she narrates her journey from the UK to moving across the pond into LA, and as she starts to realize that she's not really fitting that lifestyle, at least not entirely, as she's saying yes to everything but growing homesick and weary, she looks back during the verses that are a lot more coy, and I love that. But then that high-flying chorus, it shows you the adrenaline rush that you can maybe get from a new lifestyle, but it's such a fleeting high.
My planet hunter, or a brave deviator. I'm
2, I have Planet Hunter from Visions of a Life. This is tender, raw, and purely human. I think it's about those moments that you just never want to let go of. The ones that you replay in your head almost to the point of madness. Are we still willing to soldier on and try new things, or do we want to fall back into our comfort zone of complacency? I think that's the big looming question on this one. The rise and build of this tune is so incredible, and I love that guitar solo. It's one of the best that I think they've ever pulled out, and honestly, that's the tipping point for me that takes it from incredible to just flawless. This has been my favorite Wolf Alice song from the very moment it entered my life. It's something where originally I think maybe the music spoke to me even more than the lyrics, but I also found myself just kind of pining away daydreaming to have this strong of a connection, of a feeling that you could write a song like this about them. And yes, now comes the sappy because I've now found the girl of my dreams, my forever partner, somebody that I am engaged to be married to and plan on spending my life with, and I think that takes the meaning of the track even deeper for me. The opening drums to this track are too damn good. It's such an explosive tune, and it starts immediately. I know we go on and on about how great some of their opening sections are and about how they explode and ignite, and we talk about tracks like Giant Peach, but what about Your Love's Whore? The bridge is a journey in and of itself. They put just the right amount of reverb in the mix. It's breathtaking alt rock with a haze of gold and glitter covering everything they do. Thank you so much for watching this top 10 countdown. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to like this video, share it out with a fellow Wolf Alice fan, and maybe comment down below with any thoughts that you had on my opinions along with your own personal top 10. If there's other bands that you would like to see me do a top 10 countdown on, then fire away in the comments section. You can see a couple of relevant videos on screen now, and I'll be back soon with more on ARTV.